So hello everyone. So our last topic is about algebraic identity. So far we already learned about the algebraic identities in the previous sections, previous classes actually. So what is the use of here to learn again algebraic identities? So factorization can also be done by using algebraic identities. And when we are discussing about the factor theorem, we used one of the identity, right? That is x plus a into x plus b. Similarly, how can we apply the algebraic identities to find the factors of the given polynomial? Yes, so what we are going to learn now, factorization can be done by using the identities. How can we find factors of the given polynomial by using the algebraic identities? Yes, so these are the first algebraic identities, few algebraic. We have total 8 algebraic identities. In that, all these four, only you people are known with this, like a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b into a minus b, x plus a into x plus b. Suppose when the polynomial is in the form of a square plus 2ab plus b square, so what are the factors of that? A plus b into a plus b. Here we have two equal factors in the same way. So all these are the first four identities. Already we are familiar with this. Now we'll go with the applications of this. How can we find where we can use these algebraic identities? Simple thing. So let's have a look at a few examples. So 107 into 109. So when we are doing multiplication, like 107 into 109, yes, we can do, but bit lengthy process. We know, but we can do bit lengthy process. So this can also be done by using the identities. So which identity we are using here? Identity number 4. What is the identity number 4? X plus a into x plus b. So I splitted 107 as 100 plus 7, 109 as 100 plus 9. So what is x plus a into x plus b? X square plus a plus b into x plus ab. The same way I did. So simplest way. We can do multiplication, but by using identities, we can go with the simplest way. So I have given here one link also that we'll discuss in the live session. How can this possible? Next, so say factorize 4x square plus 12xy plus 9y square. So this can be done in by method what we learned in factor theorem, like by splitting the middle term. That is one of the method. But by using identities, how can we do? So all the polynomials not possible here. Only few polynomials which are perfect squares, perfect cubes. Bo- Those polynomials only possible to do this. So just look at this. It is in the form of a square plus 2ab plus b square. So how can we identify whether this polynomial is a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square? Just by looking the middle term. But just by looking the coefficient of the xy. What is coefficient of xy here? It is plus 12. If it is a positive, we can use a plus b whole square. If it is a negative, we can use a minus b whole square. Clear everyone? So and one more important thing, you need to even observe the first and last terms also. If there are perfect square, then easily we can apply the identity. Observe here, a square plus 2ab plus b square, nothing but a plus b whole square. Now compare with the identity with the given factor. A square is 4x square, 2ab 2 is 12xy, b square is 9y square. With this we can write a value is 2x, b value is 3y. So 4x square plus 12xy plus 9y square can be written as 2x plus 3y whole square or 2x plus 3y into 2x plus 3y. Actually, just I'm going with few bit fast because already we know this factorization of the a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. Clear? Now, factorize 4x square minus 9. So just have a look on this 4x square minus 9. So this is similar to the identity 3. What is the identity 3? Nothing but a square minus b square. It is a plus b into a minus b. What is a square here? 4x square. What is b square here? 9. So with this we can write a equal to 2x, b equals to 3. So 4x square minus 9 can be written as 2x plus 3 into 2x minus 3. Now comes here identity number 5. X plus y plus z whole square. So we have three terms which we call it as a trinomial. So from known to unknown we'll go with. So what we know a plus b whole square we know, right? From that only we will derive the identity 5, it is x plus y plus z whole square. Let us take x plus y equals to k. We are assuming it. So now it will become as k plus z whole square. So what is k plus z whole square, which is nothing but in the form of a plus b whole square, right? So we can write k square plus 2kz plus z square. Now replace k as x plus y. Yes, we are replacing. Now again applying same identity x plus y whole square. So finally we'll get x plus y plus z whole square equals to x square plus y square plus z square plus 2xy plus 2yz plus 2zx. So how come factorization can be done by using this identity? Factorize x square plus 4y square plus 9z square minus 4xy plus 12yz minus 6zx. Compare with this. So above we have while comparing these two, x square equals to x square, y square equals to 4x square, z square equals to 9z square. Now here comes a question here. Observe that there we have positive 2xy, here minus 4xy, positive 2yz, 12yz, plus 2zx minus 6z. It means that any one of the term, either x or y or z, may be negative. So first, if you take minus 4xy, it means whether x is negative, or here there are two cases here. I'll discuss both the cases with you. Either x may be negative or y may be negative. Then only this term will become as a minus 4xy. Now again come 6zx. If you come to 6zx, either z may be negative or x may be negative. Then only this will become a negative. What is a common part in these two negative terms? That is x. Yes or no? So we can say x should be negative here. That is a one of the case. Or else, if you move the positive term, so when this will become positive, both y and z is negative, then this will become a positive. Yes or no? If y is negative, this term is also negative. Yes or no? If z is negative, here also negative. Are you getting my point? Yes. So there are two cases we can find which term is negative. If you take the first term, either x or y negative, you take the last term, either z or x negative. When comparing these two, we can determine x is a negative. If you take the middle term, that is 12yz, both y and z will be the negative. That is one of the cases. Now, I'm taking both the cases here. So first I'm taking x as a negative. X equals to minus x, y equals to 2y, z equal to 3z. Or x equals to x, y equals to minus 2y, z equal to minus 3z. When we multiply negative into negative, we're getting positive. That's why the first three terms became positive. So x square plus 4y plus 9z square minus 4xy plus 12yz minus 6zx can be written as minus x plus 2y plus 3z whole square, or x minus 2y minus 3z whole square. Clear? I hope you understand this. So I'm giving task to you to find x plus y minus z whole square. Just simply take out x plus y equal to k. So it becomes k minus z whole square. Apply the identity to, that is a minus b whole square. Then you can find the identity for x plus y minus z whole square. So as we discuss 5 identities, remaining 3 we'll discuss in the next video.